I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
Before embracing all the pomp and pageantry at the U.S. Capitol and accepting the oath of office, candidates hoping to become president must run an exhaustive and high-stakes gauntlet to receive their party's nomination. An overwhelming number of U.S. states, at least 46, depend on primaries. Voters wait patiently to cast their ballot in secrecy. But 4 states choose their party's nominee using what is known as a caucus.
Instead of going to a ballot box like you would in a primary and voting by secret ballot, at a caucus, you have a bunch of people get together in an auditorium.
Voters publicly pledge support for their candidate and try to sway others to climb on the bandwagon. In a very public display characterized at times by passionate pleas from those gathered.
Instead of voting with a paper ballot or flipping a switch, you have people literally standing with one another, depending on which candidate they want to support.
The caucus system has its critics. It's time-consuming, and voters must be there in person for a long time. Iowa traditionally holds the first major vote in the election season, and in a state nearly 90% white, is it a fair bellwether state for the most viable national candidate? The caucus system for Democrats melted down in Iowa in 2020. No winner was declared. It was a public embarrassment and the final straw for the party.
The Democrats bailed on it because they got a lot of criticism from Black and Latino voters saying that that state is basically selecting who we as people of color get to vote for president. Why shouldn't a more diverse state get first dibs at deciding who gets the nomination?
So Democrats will hold their caucuses in Iowa the same as Republicans, but with one big change. Caucus goers will not select and vote for their candidate in person. Instead, they will rely on a mail-in ballot, with votes being accepted from mid-January all the way through to early March. Critics believe the caucus system has perhaps run its course in the United States. And let's not forget that civility in U.S. politics has suffered as well in recent years, chiefly due to Donald Trump, his penchant for name-calling, and the rabid support of his fanatic base.
I could imagine a scenario in Iowa caucus where people would not necessarily come to blows, but it could be heated and stop just short of that.
Not exactly what the Founding Fathers had in mind when the United States democracy was created in the late 1700s. Sean Callebs, CGTN, Washington.